business owner and volunteer for all kinds of things in town. John J. Bush, who spent his favorite year as a county commissioner, owned a business for a lot longer than that. Andre Stepankowski, your former city editor for the Daily News and accomplished pianist. And Alan Rose, an author and one of the directors at Lower Columbia Community Action Project, retired. And our moderators. On my left, your left too, I guess. I hate this. I'm standing behind him, and I don't think you are. Steve Warning, he was a well-known Superior Court judge here for 23 years, graduated from the University of Washington School of Law in 1979. Been married to his wife, Angie, for 43 years, with 2 kids, 4 grandchildren, Steve Warning. And to Steve's left, that's our right, the other person up there, that's Melanie Green Evans. She's a passionate advocate for community engagement and personal growth. As the public relations and marketing specialist at Lower Columbia College Head Start, she brings her creative talents to support early childhood education. Melanie's also the founder of Prism Employees Coaching and Design, where she combines her expertise in graphic design with her dedication to fostering personal and professional development. She's been happily married for 28 years and is a mother of 3 daughters with 1 son-in-law, Melanie Green Evans. So let me give you, go ahead, give me a hand real quick. Because I think we'll really come down on those applause. No, I'm just joking. Well, we do, again, in the interest of friendliness and civility and all that, we really are going to try to make this not necessarily like you see on TV. We're going to give the folks who come out here, this is the Commissioner District 2 candidates, as I'm sure you all know. We're going to give those folks a couple minutes to answer a question. They're going to take turns answering questions first, and each get a minute for rebuttal. We're not going to have opening statements, but they will get a 2-minute closing statement at the end of the evening. And we ask you to help us maintain the civility by refraining from, cheering and jeering and applause. And we'll ask you to give them a hand when they come out, probably at the break and then at the end. And we'll just, be grateful that we have people to pick from as we make our election decisions. Thank them for that. If you have thoughts on what you'd like to see us ask for our future debates, you're welcome to hit us up at cowlitz@civildialogue.com. We take questions through that. And our next 2 weeks are going to be the 19th District Senate race for Jeff Wilson and Andy Day next week. And then in 2 weeks, we are happy to have the 3rd Congressional District candidates joining us. So that's going to be Joe Kent and Marie Perez. So we're looking forward to all of those. If you have ideas for questions, please feel free to submit them to us. You can hand them to us tonight or hit our website. Again, cowlitz@civildialogue.com. Sir. Yeah, it does say that in the flyer that Joe Kent declined the debate. He declined the debate, and he gave us notice that he would in fact be able to make it about 10 hours after we sent the things to press. So thank you for pointing that out. Joe Kent will be here, as far as we know.
We spent a bunch of time crossing that part out on most of them, so apparently we missed a few.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's it's fluid information here. So with that, I'd like to ask our candidates to come out and join us. We are going to welcome Steve Ferrell and Amy Norquist here tonight. Please give them a hand. Thank you for coming out tonight, helping us get your messages out so we can together inform the electors. And with that, we'll go ahead and turn it over to Stephen Miller. Thank you, guys.
Good evening, and I think we'll start with a question that we started with last week, so you probably know what's coming. Cowlitz County has approximately 580 employees spread over 33 different departments. It has combined budgets in excess of $250 million. In recent years, there's been a fairly significant exodus of senior management. Given all that, what makes you qualified to run so large an organization? And I think we'll just start alphabetically with Mr. Ferrell.
Well, my background, I spent 6 years as a PUD commissioner. At that time, the budget for the PUD was in the $100 to $110 million range. The last 7 years, I've been on the Electrical Rate Advisory Commission for the PUD. September 4th, just a couple weeks ago, we just did the evaluation of rates and things that are affecting the budget. The budget now for the PUD is at about $245 million. So I'm familiar with large budgets and working with staff dealing with those things. The county's made up of 33 individual, basically, departments. Unlike the PUD, those departments aren't interrelated like the PUD is focused on. Everything's focused on electricity, and you got everybody has to bring forth their budget from last year and explain why their budget is changing this year. Also, the individual departments of the county would do the same thing. You ask the heads of those departments to put their budgets together, bring them forward. And my experience has been that if you have good staff, and I believe that from what I've seen in 3.5 years of participating in the county commissioners meetings, I believe that there's good staff. I don't see any reason to think I'm gonna rush in there and suddenly try and change or fix something. At this point, I would rely on them to do their jobs, provide us with the information necessary to put together a functioning budget, justify any changes up or down, and show us, what is going on across the board.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Norquist.
Good evening, everybody. I'm just going to start with one thing that I think is essential to this position, and that is a great love of Cowlitz County, where I grew up. My parents, Stan and Ann Norquist, instilled in me tremendous values of service, taking care of our community. They helped me find my faith in Longview, which has been a big part of my deciding to run for office. And in terms of professional experience, I've been in charge of budgets for nonprofits exceeding $20 million. I've worked on complicated government contracts and construction contracts. I have my master's in public administration, which has really given me the breadth of understanding of government that I've used a lot over the years. I started a company and was a CEO for a number of years, and one of my greatest strengths is building meaningful and authentic and productive relationships. That's going to be a key component to working with the various departments in the county. We have a lot of talented staff, as Steve said, and it's a real team effort at the county level. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of sort of mundane work, I would call it, but then there's also a lot of exciting potential and opportunities for Cowlitz County. I'll stop there.
Thank you. 1 minute for rebuttal for each of you, but I want to toss one more question in as part of that. Cowlitz County has in the past, from time to time, had a professional county administrator who was the buffer, if you will, between the departments and the commissioners. Do you think we should have a county administrator at this point in time?
And you want that in my 1 minute rebuttal?
Sure.
Okay, well, first, I want to say that I've lived in Cowlitz County my whole life. And I've been here and been active in a lot of different ways, but most recently, city council meetings and in Cowlitz County commissioner meetings. As a PUD commissioner, the general manager we had was excellent at his job, and his focus was electrical service for the community at all different types of rate classes. They were pretty much focused on one particular thing. I'm not sure, I know that there's been a couple general managers and they have failed in the past and they've gone back to the commissioners. I think that it would be truly remarkable to try and find one person who could be a general manager and handle 33 different departments, and many of them are not related to one another. And many of them are led by elected officials, the sheriff, the auditor, the coroner, a lot of those different jobs are not interrelated to each other, so it would not be a simple thing for one person to handle.
Ms. Norquist?
I do believe we'd benefit from a county manager or a chief of staff. It's a big budget. There are a lot of departments, there are a lot of moving pieces. Things fall through the cracks. It's difficult dealing with 3 different bosses, 3 commissioners, who, by the way, we can't talk to each other unless we're in a public meeting. So having the ability to move things forward, to make sure that our budget is lining up, that we're not missing opportunities, and to, frankly, help us coordinate with all the different 33 departments. I think it would be tremendously valuable. The model works well in a lot of other counties, and I think we benefit from that.
Thank you.
All right, a question about the county landfill. The county's headquarters landfill purchase from Weyerhaeuser generates $7 million in annual revenue. These funds currently support county projects and repay bonds for the landfill purchase and a water treatment pipeline to Longview. State law requires the sharing of certain revenues from waste disposal areas within the cities, yet the county has not yet implemented such sharing for this landfill. As a commissioner, how would you address this legal requirement while balancing county financial needs? Ms. Norquist.
Thank you for the question. I have to say, I do not have 100% comprehension of everything that goes on in the landfill. What I have heard, though, is that there have been sort of gentlemen's agreements with the various cities to share in some of the revenue from the landfill, from headquarters. I also know that the landfill is taking an awful lot of waste from outside of the county, receiving more revenue than initially expected. I think, it's worth a try, and I think valuable to work with the cities to come to some kind of agreement, depending on the budget limitation. I guess as a county commissioner, I say, oh, let's just keep all the money in the county. But that's not necessarily the right move. We're also filling up that landfill more quickly than we anticipated, because we are taking so much solid waste from outside of the county. And the implications of that could be significant. We may run out of room more quickly than expected. That expense and that hardship could fall on ratepayers. So yeah, it's a critical part of the makeup of our general fund in the county, and we've been able to, because we're accepting a lot more solid waste from outside the county, we've been able to supplement our general fund to the point where we don't then have to raise property taxes. It remains to be seen if this is a long-term strategy, but there are, again, with the landfill as it is with the county in general, lots of moving pieces.
Thank you, Mr. Ferrell.
I'm not aware of the legal agreement, whatever that legal document is. I have not heard about it. So if there's a legal agreement in place, I'd be more than happy to sit down and work through the details of it and absolutely meet the requirements of any legal agreement that exists. I know that the landfill, I toured it here just a couple of weeks ago, at its present rate of operation, you're looking at another 50 years without any issues to deal with the landfill. It's unfortunate that the cooperative agreement between the PUD and the county got shot down by the state to generate enough electricity for roughly 4,500 homes in the county, because the state suddenly tacked on a requirement that has never existed before to have to clean the gas that is right now being burned off of the landfill to have to clean it in some special way at a cost of $100,000 a year before you can burn the gas to run turbines. I think there's a lot of opportunity there still to benefit from the landfill. I don't see the problem with it being filled too early. It is a very big benefit for the cash flow that's coming in, and it's being operated exemplary. It should be a model. Hopefully, somewhere along the way, society learns to not use or has garbage to have to deal with. It'd be nice if we were a lot more focused on recycling, great many things, and I'd like to see that promoted in the county. But I don't see a problem that I know of with a legal agreement being violated. I haven't heard about it. I'd like to know more about it if there is one, exactly what it says.
Thank you. Response?
My response is a strong agreement with Mr. Ferrell that it's a shame, it's too bad that Department of Ecology decided to tag on all sorts of other restrictions to the PUD creating a methane plant at the headquarters landfill. To me, it doesn't make any sense. So right now we're burning it off. Burning off that gas, it's polluting, and we're getting no energy from it. So to be able to get nearly 5,000 more homes powered by a methane plant at the headquarters landfill seems like a no-brainer. My hope is that somehow we will be able to continue the development of that methane plant in cooperation with the state and be able to convince them that it is indeed in the best interest of the state as a whole and Dallas County. I'm in strong support of that project.
Thank you. Your response, Mr. Ferrell?
Well, as I said, the landfill right now is a major resource of funds coming in. It's being managed in an absolutely exemplary state. I would like to see us very actively contest with the state their position on using that methane to use it to power 4,500, 4,600 homes. Seems a terrible waste to just be burning it into the atmosphere. I would like to say that the staff, people that took me on the tour, the people up there working, it's a marvelous operation. It's being handled really well. Right now, out of the 22 cells that are programmed or into the program, 10 of them are in use, or the 10th cell is in use. And we should be good for years to come. With good management, hopefully we'll figure out how to get through this generating electricity to benefit the county.
Thank you. As we mentioned last week, Mr. Ferrell, we'll begin with you this time. Cowlitz County seems to be winning a race that we would probably rather not be in.